So here is my bare face with no makeup on except for a tiny bit of brow product because I have no brows. Here's a close-up of my skin. A little bit of redness on my nose from time to time, and I have a few acne scars here and a few bumps on my forehead that come and go, but usually there's always a little something there. As far as my skin type goes, it in the winter in Canada anyway, where it's pretty harsh, it gets pretty dry, but in the summer like it is right now, it is pretty oily. Not like total grease mess, but getting there. I got just a sample at Sephora because I have a problem, and my problem is I buy way too many foundations. I have an enormous collection and I'm trying to cut down a little bit. So before I bought this one in its full size, I figured why not try the sample and take advantage of that, because that's a really cool thing that they do at Sephora. So, oh, and mine exploded. I got Too Faced Born This Way in the color Ivory, which isn't the lightest one, but actually when I swatched the porcelain and the ivory beside each other in the store, the ivory was more yellow based and actually didn't dry as dark and pink as the porcelain. So for me and my skin tone, I think Ivory is going to be the best bet, although I have a feeling this is going to be too dark anyway. Okay, don't laugh at my weird hair. Let's do one side with primer and one without. Primer that I'm using is my Clinique Super Balanced Primer. This is pretty much the only primer that I have found that I really like. So primer on my right and your left side. Let's get a little bit of this sample on the back of my hand. I feel like that will be sufficient. Pretty watery. Well, actually it's kind of thick, but it is runny. And I like a runnier foundation, so we'll see. I'm going to apply it like I normally would any foundation, which with my very dirty beauty blender, because I used it yesterday and just didn't want to wash it. Oh, that might be too much. Okay. Here, I'm going to turn down my lights a little bit. Okay, so just for the demo, I'm going to have my lights off because I feel like you can see a little bit better. So I'm gonna need a little bit more product because I didn't get to my nose or my forehead. I would say if this were in a bottle, I would need 1.5 to 2 pumps.
I'm really not even using that much. I prefer kind of natural look anyway.
So we'll get real close here. And I have fairly large pores on my nose, so we'll see there. There's my discolorations, a couple blemishes. Forehead. It actually looks really good. I am I'm impressed. I mean, I sheared it out with the Beauty Blender, so that might have something to do with the fact that it doesn't look full coverage on me, which I'm actually thankful for because I don't really like full coverage. I prefer something that looks a little bit more natural. Doesn't accentuate my pores or dry spots. Dry spots. It's still not 100% set, but it's not greasy or super tacky feeling, just like a little bit. Like the coverage is really nice, and it dries to a semi-matte. It's not like super flat, but it's really not dewy either. And you know what? For being like as pale as I am, I don't think it... I'm gonna look in the mirror here. I actually think it looks like a pretty good match. It blended really well, and even where it was on my hand, usually that oxidizes really bad, and you can tell how dark a foundation is. But I'm gonna go put the rest of my makeup on. Okay, so I'm back because my boyfriend Paul and I we're gonna go do some errands in a little bit, but first I just wanted to show you my face after I put more of a face on. It's not a totally full face, but I'm just going to Walmart and Best Buy, and it's been about 15 minutes since I put the foundation on, and it still looks really good. I'll turn the lights off again just so you can see more of a natural look. Like my face really looks flawless. Like I'm really impressed. So I don't actually use setting powder, and I didn't here because I don't usually, and people tell me like, you have oily skin, you should really set it with powder. I honestly don't find that helps for me. Like I get oily no matter what, and oftentimes the powder just makes it look worse. Maybe it holds it off for a little bit longer, but then when the oil does start coming through, it mixes with the powder and it gets really disgusting. And I've tried several different kinds, but I find pretty much the same outcome with everyone. If you have a really great setting powder that doesn't do that and you have oily skin, let me know because I need it. According to the Sephora app, it says that this foundation is oil-free foundation for natural looking full coverage and a beautiful radiant finish. I would say medium to full coverage depending on how you apply it, because with a beauty blender and not using very much, I would say medium coverage. Natural looking, as far as a medium coverage foundation can go, yes. And beautiful and radiant. Radiant, yes. It says it is so undetectable you can't see the makeup or the imperfections, just natural, luminous, flawless complexion. It says a bunch of stuff about promoting elasticity and hyaluronic acid for a smoother, more youthful appearance and diffusing the line between makeup and skin. You can still tell. And that might have something to do with my skin too, because I do have a rougher skin texture. It is settling into, I have like a frown wrinkle right there, and it did settle into it. But other than that, I really like this foundation. I think it's comparable in shade to NC15, and now that it's had time to set and oxidize a little bit, it is a little bit yellow, but it isn't too dark, so that's a plus. That was shade Ivory. The side that I use the primer on feels a little bit more set actually, which I would have thought the opposite, but this side, it's not tacky, but I can still feel it. It's not totally smooth, and this side is a little bit more smooth. So it's 12:11 right now, so I'll see you guys in a bit. So I just got home. It was a little bit later than I thought. It is now 8:30, if you can see that with 8:30. It looks pretty good, I would say, actually. You can see it in the sun. Natural light. So you can probably see a little bit better inside than you can outside, but it still looks really good. The coverage is still there, my highlighter and a little bit of my bronzer is still there. My nose, it has broken up a little bit. I don't know if you can really tell. And it is a little bit shiny, but really nothing that bothers me at all. I meant to do 3 check-ins today, but we stayed out to supper a little bit longer than I planned on, so now that it's 8:30, probably won't do a 3rd check-in just because I don't like to wear my makeup that long. So from about, let's say 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12 today, earlier today until 8:30 at night, which is, oh god, that's 8 hours of really good wear. I'm really happy with it, and seeing as how the color isn't so bad, I actually will probably buy it. Let's get one more shot without the bright lights. A little bit of redness is peeking out on my cheeks. And because it's so hot, I do feel a little bit greasy, but it's so muggy that I don't think that I can blame it on the foundation. Hey, so it is now 11:52 at night, and I know I said I was going to take my makeup off a lot earlier and probably not do another update, but I fell asleep on the couch. I have the lights off so that you can maybe see a little better, but up close, oh, I get some mascara there. Oh, you can tell that it's worn off a little bit. I have probably been touching my face a little bit more than I should have, but it is a little shiny. I do have a blotting paper. I just wanted to test its oil control, so let's go. There really isn't that much oil there, I would say, in comparison to some of my other foundations. So Too Faced is getting 2 thumbs up from me, and that really doesn't happen that much because I am a foundation junkie and nothing ever seems to please me. So as long as this doesn't break me out, I think I'm definitely gonna buy the full size. So you got me, Too Faced. Please subscribe, give a thumbs up if you like watching reviews. I do have another video, I'll link that down below. It is foundations for really fair and pale skin, because trust me, it's been a journey trying to find those, and if you are pale, you totally get me. So I'll link that down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.